there, welcome back to New Day. You do not need to carve a jack-o'-lantern to get into the Halloween spirit. More people are choosing to take their pumpkin art to the next level, if you will. So joining us now to talk about Jenna Boitano from Seattle ReCreative is here with different ways we can spruce up our pumpkins. Thank you so much for joining us, Jenna.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
And I'd like to say, for those of you who are not into carving pumpkins, it's not that we're not good at it, we just want to find a different way, right?
Well, yeah, and sometimes you don't have time to carve a pumpkin.
Sure.
Or you don't want to get your hand messy with all the stuff in the middle.
Yeah, and with kids, this is just something different to do, so I'm really excited. First of all, tell us about Seattle ReCreative.
Yeah, Seattle ReCreative is a nonprofit creative reuse and art center.
Okay.
We promote creativity, community, and environmental stewardship through creative reuse and art education. So I want you to think about like a thrift store for art supplies. So we take donated materials to keep them out of the landfill, sell them in our retail store for a fraction of the retail price, and then also use them for camps and classes and making.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love that. And where are you located?
We're in Greenwood.
Okay, what a great idea.
Yeah.
We'll learn more about it. Let's get started with the pumpkin.
Sure.
You're gonna show us different types that we can do. Funky, create like elegant.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna start with sort of a fancier pumpkin, or maybe more of a refined pumpkin. This is also without a face on it, so if you want to do something different, you kind of can. So I just took about a yard of tulle fabric, and then we're just going to watch this just a few minutes. We're going to kind of put it in the middle here, and then Angela, I'm going to ask you to just take this piece of lace there, and you can just tie it around at the top here.
All right. Okay, so just tie.
Just
no
tie.
Way,
no, you can just make a bow.
Okay.
Or not.
Or not. Well, kind of goes with my little Seahawks theme.
It sure does. And then look at that. We've just got like a little pumpkin present, right?
I love that.
Another fancy way you could do it is to take like some rickrack or some fancy trim and just sort of hot glue it there along the ridges, and you get a little bit more kind of that glittery, fancy fun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's the elegant kind.
That's the elegant kind. Then we're going to move on to our second kind, which I think it's always fun to use the stem as a nose, because then you have one less thing you have to put on there. So I pre-made some eyes for us just out of bottle caps with a button on them. All right. And we're going to go ahead and attach the second eye here. So
you want me to help with you trust me?
Be careful, because I don't want you to burn your finger. Okay. Yeah, just kind of stick it on there.
I guess if the eye isn't perfect, it'll just make it look more Halloweenish.
Exactly. It will look more realistic. The next thing we're going to do is I went ahead and pre-made a little mouth out of some twist ties, right? So cute.
Just simple, yeah, that's inexpensive.
Yeah, and stuff you probably already have at home. I'm just going to do kind of 2 dots where I think the edges might be, because...
Okay. You want me to hold that while you try to...
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Stick that on there. Look at that.
Oh,
so cute. And then we could add, like, I just brought some yarn. You know, you could put a little hair on that guy. And you could get really crazy. You know, you could add an eyebrow, or maybe it's a mustache and ears. You can really kind of go all out with it if you want to.
Do you have ideas on what we can use to prop it up if we wanted to?
It's a great question. I mean, if I was doing this at home, I would probably use a rock. But you could also probably use another pumpkin just to hold it up. I do love the idea of using that as a nose, because I just think it's so cute.
It's very cute. Yes.
Right? So
love your ideas.
That's number 2. And then over here, this is our kid-friendly pumpkin. And I think with kids, there's always the question of how messy do you want to get, and how messy do you want your kid to get. Okay. So this is, you know, kind of half and half. What I've done is I started it out, because it will take a little while. It's just coating it with some glue and then sticking on some tissue paper and fun little sparkles.
Okay, and you pour the glue here. And
you can just, Angela, you can add some glue. Yeah, stick it on there. Wow. You can just go crazy.
All right, do that.
One of my kids would say you definitely need to add some glitter, so that is obviously something you could do. We're probably not going to do that today.
We're not. You know, I think the producers here at New Day are like, Angela. You could add some on there.
You could do this and then add a layer of glitter on top if you wanted to. You could also, do paint if you liked that idea too. If you were going to do paint, I'd suggest tempera paint for the kids, because it's a little bit more washable. But acrylic if grown-ups were doing it. And then if you were like, oh man, I love the idea of decorating this, but I'm worried it's going to get super wet
Oh, that's a good point.
Because we live in Seattle.
That's right.
And it rains here. You could probably spray it with like a sealant to kind of keep it a little bit more.
Oh, that's good. Now, you have a couple big events coming up at Seattle ReCreative.
We do, yeah. So this Sunday, we have our fabric sale. Fabric at our place usually sells for $2 a yard. We cut it in half, so it's $1 a yard for fabric this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, so you can get in early at 11 a.m. for a $5 donation, or you can come at noon when we're open to the public. So
and the donation would benefit
Seattle ReCreative. Yeah, keeping more stuff out of the landfill.
What made you want to start, a nonprofit that would offer these types of things?
I was actually on the board of a similar nonprofit when I lived in North Carolina, and I just loved the creativity that I felt working there, the creativity that I saw in the community, and I just loved seeing people have great ideas with things that otherwise might have gotten thrown away. So we started here in Seattle about 4 years ago.
And this and a more affordable option.
Yeah, and it's accessible to everyone. You can come in with $1 and find something great to take home.
Awesome. Okay, well these are awesome. We have the kid version, we've got the funky pumpkin, and we've got, see, that was my doing.
Funkier.
That was my doing. And then, of course, our elegant pumpkin.
Yeah, our fancy pumpkin.
Jenna Boitano from Seattle ReCreative. Can't wait for that fabric sale.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for helping us out. Another way to do our pumpkins without picking up the knife. There you go.
Thanks so much.
There's a lot more coming up. Oh, yeah, there's the information on the fabric sale. You can also go to king5.com/newday. All right? $5 donation will guarantee early admission at 11 a.m. And still ahead, how a new age practice called past life regression can actually help people heal from trauma and other issues. We'll be right back. Thanks, Jenna.
Thank you.